What's going on YouTube? Tim Click here, and we are back with another video. It's going to be the review and recap of Gotham Season 3, Episode 2, entitled Burn the Witch. Good episode. Not a great episode, but it was still a solid episode. There are still some things that need to be set up for, I guess, the long-term plans for Season 3. I could definitely sense certain things being put in place. I mean, it's not my favorite episode, but definitely not my least favorite episode by a long shot. So let's hop right in. So at the end of the last episode, Guy in a Mask breaks into the Wayne Manor, incapacitates Alfred, and then kidnaps Bruce using some chloroform. So this episode starts off right where that one left off. A hood is being taken off Bruce's head. He's sitting at a long table, and the older lady with the mask, the owl's mask, we see her sitting there. So she takes off the mask, and her and Bruce go back and forth, and basically in order to spare, to save, to spare the lives of the people who Bruce holds most dear, he has to agree to not investigate this group and or his parents' murder. So he agrees reluctantly, although he did drop a pretty nice bomb, telling them that if he died, all of his shares will go to the government, which will cause him to investigate this group thoroughly. So, so we get that out of the way, and next we have Valerie Vale showing up at Gordon's place. She says that she, her source, obviously, which is Selena Kyle, she's able to find, or she's unable to find Selena, so she needs to use Gordon's help to find Fish. And of course, Gordon will get the $1 million bounty that Penguin placed on Fish's head. So, of course, this is all a trick. After Gordon goes to Barbara's club, which they have a pretty interesting interaction there. Barbara, of course, being crazy and telling Gordon that she'll only give him the information if he gives her a kiss, which he refuses. She gives him the information anyway, and then, of course, proceeds to tell him that she had a dream about him, that he lost both of his legs and she had to push him around in a baby stroller. But once Barbara gives the information, Valerie reveals that she was doing this as payback for Gordon handcuffing her to her car, and she leaves him there and goes right to the police with the information. So we see, I don't know how I feel about this, but at this point we see Ivy. She is washed up on the shore after falling in that I guess we can call it a sewage pipe, and so the thing is, though, they got an older actress, completely different actress to play Ivy. They don't look anything alike. They got a older, more attractive actress. Not saying that the other actress was ugly or anything like that, but you're still a child, and we all know Poison Ivy and how she is. She does use her sensuality to get what she wants, and it would be weird if you had a teenage girl doing that. So they got an actress who obviously is not a child, or if she is a teenager at the very least, is over the age of 18. And while the actress actually did a pretty good job of, even though she is a different person, still taking on some of the cues that were given by the actress who played Ivy previously. Ivy was very awkward, the way she talked to people, so she kind of had that, but her clothes are all, messed up, and she stumbles to a huge truck and looks in the side view mirror, and a guy comes over, asks her if she's alright. She says she's thirsty. He offers to take her to his place so she can get something to drink. So, go back to the police confronting Fish Mooney at this abandoned bank. Of course, Valerie's there, and Bullock has agreed to give her first crack at Fish once they catch her. So they go in, things don't go well. A lot of police officers get killed, but they capture all of the escapees except for Fish. I keep getting the older guy's name who can touch people and take their youth, the tall chick in the all black leather, and the one who moves very fast. So those four escape. So back at the station, basically, obviously, Valerie, she says that, hey, we're even, you played me, I played you, yada, yada, yada. We can always see where this is going to end up with these two. But Lucius Fox calls Gordon in, and he gives Gordon some information about, obviously, Miss Peabody is dead. She seems much older than she actually was, and the fact that more than likely they're going to be going to find Strange in order to get help, because Lucius was able to find that they were all of the inmates were sick. Cut to Penguin in the streets. He is giving a almost like press conference, firing up the citizens, saying that the police are not doing a good job of protecting the people of Gotham from these monsters, as he calls them, and basically saying that people should rally together to kill the monsters. Obviously Penguin is working on his fear/frustration of Fish, and hatred. He doesn't know why she let him live, and he's obviously still kind of fearful of her, but at the same time he knows what he's done in her absence, and he's not ready to give that up. We cut to Bruce waking up in the mansion, or Alfred trying to wake up Bruce, and Bruce of course has to reveal to Alfred what he had to agree to. Alfred, of course, is aware that obviously Bruce had to make an agreement with these people to save people that Bruce cared about, and then Alfred asks him, does he intend on keeping his end of the bargain, because you can't be sure if these people will keep their end of the bargain. So cut away from there, and we see Bullock is leaving the police station, and he is grabbed by the lady that runs very fast, and of course the tall chick with the all black outfit, and they say Fish wants to see her. Looks like Bullock drops his badge on purpose by his car, gets in, and of course Fish kisses him. We know they had an interesting kind of relationship in season 1, but she does it mainly to get him to tell her where Strange is. So they're off to do that. Meanwhile, Ivy has arrived at the house of this trucker, and Ivy, of course, is confused. She knows who she is. She lives in Gotham, and she tells the man, her name is Ivy, but she knows she's different inside and out. The guy, he calls her beautiful, which she's shocked by, and says that his wife left, but she could use some of her clothes to change into. Now, there are a lot of plants around the house, and some of them are dead because of lack of water, and Ivy's touching them and saying how sad it is. Then the guy grabs one of the plants pots and throws it in the garbage. Ivy, of course, gets upset. So we cut away from them, and we cut to Gordon and Fox in Barnes' office, trying to get Barnes to, like, okay, Harvey is probably taking Fish to where Strange is. It's the only thing that makes sense. Barnes, of course, is reluctant until Gordon explains that Bullock isn't answering his phone, and also his badge was outside by the car. Barnes and Harvey both knew where Strange was being kept, in the mansion outside of the city, but it's like a high-tech, almost high-tech research facility is what he describes it as. So Fish is going to take Gordon to this place. At this time, Bullock arrives with Fish and her group of people, and basically Bullock is out. He distracts the guards, and then the one who moves very fast, it kills both of them. They go inside, get rid of some other guards, and there's Hugo Strange in this glass cell. Fish explains what she needs done. Hugo, of course, is a proud father at this point, saying that he brought her into existence and how proud he was, but he can't fix her. So, of course, the police arrive, and at this point, Harvey has come back to his senses, not under Fish's control anymore. However, she still uses Harvey as a hostage, calls Barnes and lets him know that if anyone comes near, she's going to kill Harvey. So they set up a perimeter, and Penguin sees all of this on the news because, of course, the reporters arrive, and Penguin calls a mob of people, and they all go as well. So we have a huge mob, and the police are trying to hold them off, and Penguin, of course, is trying to incite a riot. Valerie Vale is there, and she's keeping an eye on everything, particularly Gordon, and he sneaks in, gets captured, and makes a bargain. One scene I do want to talk about is Fish and her interaction with Hugo Strange. Fish, of course, doesn't want to die. That's what's motivating her now. She doesn't want to die due to the fact that, you know, she was already dead, and she's back with these abilities, and of course she wants to take over Gotham. And there's a very emotionally charged scene, and Jada Pinkett Smith did a great job acting here, saying how when she had a club and, you know, ran her group of men, and people, of course, wouldn't pay up. They say they didn't have any money, how she would just squeeze them, and they always seem to have more money. So she basically uses that as a threat to Hugo Strange. Now, Gordon, he says that he will get Fish Mooney out of there with Strange if she lets Bullock go. She agrees. Gordon goes and calls Penguin and says that, hey, Fish is going to be out in the woods in the back in 5 minutes. She's going to be all yours. You can kill her. But I need you to do something for me. So Penguin has all of his people pushed through the police lines, causing Barnes to call all of the police to the front of the building. Fish and Strange and the older guy who can drain people's life essence or youth or whatever, they all leave. The other two stay behind, and they get brutally beaten by this mob of people and killed. I kind of felt bad for them because, you know, yeah, sure, they were violent criminals prior to going to Indian Hill, but these people were only attacking them simply because they were different, not because they were criminals, which, you know, they were dangerous people, but, you know, sent them to jail. But one of the best scenes, and actually the best scene of the episode, as far as the acting goes, Penguin, of course, confronts Fish and Hugo Strange in the woods. He tells the older gentleman to run away, which he does, and you know, he's very happy because, you know, he's about to kill Fish Mooney. Fish says, "I've spared your life, and you're just going to gun me down in the woods like an animal," to which he says yes. Then Fish, he says one thing that's been bothering him: why did she allow him to live? Why did she kill him? It would be very easy for her to do so. To which she says that Penguin used to be her umbrella boy. He used to rub her feet when they were sore, and basically everything that she did is what caused Penguin to be what he was now. And you can just see all of the emotion in Penguin's face. She was saying how she knows, Hugo Strange, of course, understands how she feels. She didn't want to destroy something that she brought into being. And so Penguin, of course, spares her and says for her to never return, never come back. So Fish and Strange leave. So the mob, they bring out the bodies of the two individuals and they burn them. Hence the title Burn the Witch. It was like a witch hunt, and they're literally burning these two people after they're dead. And so Gordon, he decides to leave. He gets home, or we cut to Wayne Manor, and Bruce and Alfred, they're having a nice little time. They're eating at the table in the living kitchen, and Alfred's bringing up the cave that they found at the end of season 1, and the fact that now that Bruce is not going to be investigating his parents' murder, what's he going to do with all this free time? Alfred suggests dancing, which, it could seem kind of dumb, but I'm actually excited about that because these are all skills Bruce Wayne had in the actual comics. He knew how to play up the fact that people expected him to act a certain way due to the fact that he was rich and young. So this is one of those things that goes with the territory. However, they hear window or glass breaking. Alfred hands Bruce a knife and pulls out a gun. They go check, and it is the other version of Bruce, the clone from Indian Hill, and he says, "Please don't hurt me." And it cuts away from that to Valerie coming to Gordon's house, and she has this theory, which is actually spot on. It made her to be a very insightful and smart person. She basically called the whole thing that it was a setup. Fish isn't dead because Penguin would have brought her in front of the mob. Obviously, Gordon called Penguin and used the mob as a distraction to get Fish to go out in order for Penguin to kill her, but Penguin didn't, and they don't know where she is. So she wonders why he did that, knowing that he's not going to be able to collect the money, and then of course they have a kiss, which we all saw coming. It was very obvious. However, the funniest thing in the episode, and kind of obvious because we've seen in trailers that this character was going to be a part of the season, immediately shows a train station and we see Lee getting off of the train by herself, it seems, carrying a suitcase, and that is where the episode ends. So obviously there's going to be some kind of tension there between Gordon, Lee, and Valerie, and we will have to see what goes on from there. Also, Barbara is around and, not locked up anywhere. She's been crazy. And who knows if she was lying or not about that dream she had, because she was looking very serious when she told him. She smiled afterwards, but she did look very serious and concerned when she first informed Jim of her dream. So that's the episode. It wasn't a great episode, but it wasn't bad. It was okay. We did, get a lot of setup here. Bruce finally coming face to face with his doppelganger, or clone, whatever you want to call it. We did get a flashback to the house where Ivy was. She's dressed in a green dress. She's all cleaned up with makeup on. And of course the guy is dead. She hit him over the head with a pot. And before she leaves, she says, "Next time, water them." But that's that. So, that's the episode. Just again, a quick recap and review of the episode. I thought it was pretty good. The acting was okay. Unlike the first episode, we only focused on certain characters. We didn't see any of Selena. We didn't see a lot of Bruce. We didn't see any Riddler. But, the core characters were the ones who stood out. Gordon, Bullock, even Barnes, though, had a bigger part than he did in the first episode. And we can just see the dynamic between him and Gordon now. It wasn't on great footing to begin with after Gordon was sent to prison. But yeah, so good episode. Excited to see what happens next with the setup. And hopefully it can, keep going as it, has been since partway through, actually beginning of season 2. So yeah, so that's my video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please drop a like, a thumbs up right below the video here, and you can click the button below the video here, the subscribe button, to help out the channel. I really appreciate it. But until next time, guys, peace, and back out.